crafty friends, it's Donna here and I have a very different video for you today. First of all, some of you might be surprised to find that I have a face because I have never shown my face on video, always just my hands as I make cards. And if you've come for a how-to of card making, you might like to just skip this video and move on to the next one because I'm going to be talking a little bit bigger, a bit broader, and a little bit more general life in this video. If you've always been secretly a little bit sticky beak about what goes on behind the scenes, then stick around and I'll talk to you a little bit about what's going on in my life. For the last 5 years, we've been living in Japan, and I've been crafting, obviously, and learning Japanese, and living a very different life in a Tokyo apartment. And now, as of exactly 1 month ago, we find ourselves back in Australia, starting again, as it were. And so there's a lot to be thought about. What do we want to do with our lives? What do we want to do with our time? How then shall we live? And so I thought it would be a great chance for me to document for myself the trials and tribulations of settling back into Australia, but also just to document what it is to live in rural Australia and what our life looks like outside of the craft room, so that I can see the successes and I can look back and see what we've achieved, what we've worked hard on, and I can also set goals, and this will help hold me accountable. So here's what we've been up to in July. We're lucky enough to live on the side of a green hill. When we returned to Australia in June, it was freezing, and so our first job was to get warm. We had a few trees that had fallen down over the time that we were in Japan, and so that's where we started. Who said a hatchback was too small for real jobs? We have a lot of veggie patches, and we'd mulched most of these in December because it was too dry to pull any weeds, but we really want to get stuck into the weeds while it's raining, and the job is easy. We impulse bought 3 blueberry plants, and this is where we want to put them. So this is where we started. This whole bed was knee-high with weeds, and so we worked our way along, pulling everything out that we didn't want and finding treasures along the way. And as I look back on the footage, I can see the difference in personality between the two of us, with my husband working very carefully and methodically in one place, and me all over the place, up and down and weeding here and there. Along the way, we found quite a bit of treasure as we weeded: parsley, kale, 1 lone spring onion, artichokes, and some borage. We've also planted out 1 garden bed with some greens and netted it well against rabbits. Inside the house, we're still mainly just unpacking, but I did manage to make 1 quick ricotta cheese. So, what's coming up for August? I really don't want to forget Japanese now that I'm back in Australia, and so one of the things that I've been doing is to read novels, and I've got quite a collection that I've brought back with me so that I won't run out. This month I finished this book, Kidnap Tour. The English translation is Kidnap Tour, and the précis is like this. On the first day of the summer holidays when I was grade 5, I was kidnapped. The perpetrator was my dad, who I hadn't seen for 2 months. It's such an interesting story. You spend the whole time trying to work out whether he's a good dad or a terrible dad. I haven't found it in English translation, but when we went to YouTube and Googled Kidnap Tour, the movie came up with English subtitles, and so my husband and I watched that together. It's across 5 parts, and I'm not sure about how legally it's been downloaded. It's a bit of an unusual format, and I don't know much about that kind of thing, but it's an interesting story, and if you'd like to follow along with what I've been reading, then certainly you can watch Kidnap Tour on YouTube. Japanese has so many lovely books about relationship and about finding healing in relationship. And I'm hoping that's what my next read is. My next read is called そしてバトンは渡された. And the baton was passed. And it's the story of a girl and her different experiences in foster care. The way that I'm hoping to do that is to just get it out every night before I turn out the light in bed. so that I can continue a habit. Rather than saying I'm going to read this much, I just want to make a habit of reading every day. So that's my first goal for August. My second goal for August is a garden-related goal, and that is that I need to get on top of the pruning before the end of August. It's not the best time to prune everything, but I at least need to get my fruit trees down small enough to net so that we get our fruit and not the birds. One of the new hobbies that I took up during the lockdowns was knitting, and I really enjoy that. And I have 2 goals that I'd like to complete in August. One is a pair of socks. These socks here are Stephen West's Sock-along socks. This one has stopped with just a tiny bit to go before the toe. The reason being, this is all the wool I have left. I'm knitting on the second sock, and with a bit of luck, I'll have enough wool left from this sock to also finish the first sock. But this is all I have. Looks like I'm probably going to lose on both socks, but we'll see. The other thing I'd like to finish is a beanie that I've been knitting out of some beautiful silk and mohair and wool yarn that I bought in Nagasaki. We traipsed all around and went to a wool shop in Nagasaki, and they didn't really have what I was looking for, but she was such a sweet lady and it was such a small shop that I bought something, and it's actually turned out to be really nice. So I also hope to finish this in August. As far as the card making goes, I want to get back to making really regular card making videos. I enjoy card making and I enjoy editing those videos. Admittedly, I enjoy editing videos much more when I'm not looking at my own face. I can tell you that, having edited the first half of this one. But hopefully, just as I got used to seeing my own hands and then got used to my own voice, that I'll get used to seeing my face. A while back, I started a series of videos called Good Times. And the idea was to take a stamp and to make a 5-minute, a 15 to 20 minute, and an unlimited time card with the same product, not necessarily a stamp, any product. And so I've been playing at one of those videos, and I've made some cards, and I'm hoping to get that edited in the near future. And I have all of the pieces cut out for one of my 1 paper pack 10 cards videos. And so the next step is to get the video set up and to start videoing those. They always take a long, long time to video and a long time to edit. And so I need to get started on that if I want it to go up in August. I contemplated whether to say this or not, but also in August, I would like to clean my craft room. I'm mostly unpacked, and I have a good functioning desk, but I still have to pick a trail from the door to the desk. And it seems that every time I get something organised, something else seems to get unpacked and come into the room, and I never get to the end of it. So that's a goal for August too. There may also be a card coming up, or a series of cards involving chickens. I've been colouring chickens all week and really enjoying it. Also coming up in August, I've got a very exciting thing happening this coming weekend, and that is that I'm going to learn to spin. I've recently come into a spinning wheel, which belonged to my mother-in-law, and before that, her mother. And since I have so much spare time, I thought it would be a lovely thing to do to learn to spin. And hopefully, I'll have a little bit of string to show you next time as well. A long time ago, I used to have a blog called Donna is Playing House. I'll tell you the story about that one day. It still exists. It's out there on the internets. Donna is Playing House had all kinds of adventures on it. It was my way of making housekeeping interesting. And so some of the things that I did were to have a no-buy month where I just ate the food from my cupboard and my fridge and my freezer. I also started cooking my way through my great-grandmother's cookbook from around the 1920s. And I'd love to get back into that. And so I'm going to put that up as a loose August goal. If I could do one of those recipes, it would be great. But I have a bunch of things that I really need to do in a timely manner. So That one's an aspirational goal, I guess. I can see that if I'm going to add all of these things into my life, I'm going to have to do some serious habit stacking. I'm hoping to come back towards the end of August to let you know how I went, to update you on how the garden's going, and also to let you know what I'm hoping to achieve in September. I hope that you've enjoyed this slightly different video. I'm hoping it will be a good record for me and a good challenge for me as well. So we're going to resume normal card making videos now for the rest of the month. And then I hope to be back towards the end of August with some updates and whether I've definitely bitten off more than I can chew or not. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to. Nobody needs to, but if you want to find out what's coming up next, it's a great way to do it. And also, when people like and subscribe, it helps the YouTubes to know that I exist. Until I'm back next time, I wish you a wonderful month. Stay safe and be kind, and I'll be back soon. Bye for now.